I have to add a small triumph. Iris is a straight woman.
Damn it.
I got real scared when they were putting up that invitation list. And she's like, there's a lot of men on here. I'm like, damn it!
Oh my God.
But now we saved it because she expressed her love for a male.
Because you have a type.
She could still be bi.
I know. I saw her looking at Coletta, but if she still likes men, I'm fine. As long as there is some like for men, I'm okay. If Amon ruined her and she went full lesbian, I'll be pissed. I have nothing against lesbians. I would just like for once to have a crush on an anime character and for them to be slightly interested in men.
No, that's your type. That's your type.
I can't win! Anyway, so the episode starts with, I didn't know how that weird cliffhanger was gonna go. That seemed super emotional, like she was gonna dive, and I'm like, there's a preview image of her on a train with Violet, and I'm like, she's gonna get saved by Colette, and she's gonna express her love to her for saving her, and I'm like, no! Then it just cuts to them on a train. I'm like, oh, she broke her arm. Oh, or she like sprained her wrist or did something to like.
Yeah.
That was a lot of suspense, and I didn't think that was what was going to happen.
I guess Violet was just a second too late or something.
I was like, wow, that was a giant suspense buildup that had me terrified on a lot of levels for nothing. But it is a good setup to where, again, Violet has to work. So it was a very good reason. Again, I say it every time. This show is so good at making all character work. This show is all character.
Yeah,
it is 95% character study and 5% plot.
Basically, what this episode was the family reunion. Her parents just wanted an excuse to see their daughter, so they did the whole, basically the boy who cried wolf, but they made up some BS excuse to invite her over for a birthday party / maybe arranged marriage.
Yeah,
maybe. How much Violet busts her balls at the start of this episode? That would also be inaccurate. Why?
that's inaccurate.
That's inaccurate. That is also an exaggeration. We cannot accept false pretense for commissions. This is against our company policy.
I know the show isn't trying to be funny, but it's also just really funny.
It is unintentionally
It's
hilarious.
really funny.
Yeah, it's all the characters are nailed, and that's one of the, like, is this based off a manga?
It's based off a light novel.
A light novel. Okay. All right. That's what I was wondering. Like, if this is all original, this is very, very good.
It's too good for Netflix to do. Let's be real, it's too good for Netflix to do. No offense to Netflix, but like, they have that reputation.
Hey, when it comes to stuff that is not live action and they don't have studios back out on them, they do very good with anime. From what I've seen, anyway.
Yeah, the stuff that they've acquired is actually really good. One of these days we'll do Great Pretender, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah. So it all just turns into just, I was not expecting into the, you just need to come home and live with us again, honey. We need to find you a man. There's so many times where this show just goes, we're going to do something else for 80% of this episode of like, what? The main character gets the least amount of plot in the whole show.
So about that, you know how we earlier compared Violet to Akame?
Yeah, I get in that type of vibe too. That like,
it's like the show is about her, but she's not really the main character.
Yeah, it is very much the Tatsumi plot experiencer through a different people, but it's different people every episode.
And I actually kind of I really like that.
Yeah.
She's kind of like the vessel for other people kind of learning to learning how to like understand their own emotions.
Yeah.
And in turn she understands more about other people's emotions
Yeah.
and
and,
eventually
like,
her own.
yeah, and like learn them in like different scenarios per se. So I feel like every episode is going to be like a different scenario with feelings that she's gonna overcome until there's a breaking point. It's gonna happen. That breaking point.
I think we're close. We're um
We're
I
a third
think
of the way through the show. It's gonna come soon, and I have a feeling it's gonna break me.
it's gonna happen sooner than the
I think it's
finale.
gonna break all of us that we won't be able to record.
I got a bad feeling it's gonna be the first episode of our next session.
Oh God, no, please.
Because again, we're a third of the way through. Something's gotta happen.
I feel like it's happening very soon. I feel like the next section is gonna happen.
And the reason I feel this way is because at the end of this episode, she actually makes a breakthrough, like a real one.
Yeah.
Last episode was kind of like the practice.
Yeah.
This is like, oh no, it's actually happening.
Yeah, she like it was very blunt the first time, and now she's understanding how to convey it, even give or take. She was getting the bullet points again from her. She's getting better at flavor texting her
Yeah.
letters. Oh man.
The ending, no.
The ending is fantastic.
Another
And
small fast. I almost cried. I was like, damn it.
it was one of those things where, and the worst part is I didn't type it fast enough because I was in the experience watching it, and she's like, what are those? Those are irises. And he's like, and I'm like, oh, she got named after a flower. I'm like, oh, they both have the name of flowers. And then it cuts to her in the major where he gave her name the same way. I'm like,
That's why I did think. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go cry now.
Yeah, I cannot remember what the name of the episode is, but there is an episode in Darling in the Franxx where you get a completely 100% backstory episode on the main shipped couple, Hero and 02. And it might be one of the most adorable things ever committed to animation.
Ooh.
It's for real, and it comes out of nowhere. But this, every time I get little bits with Violet, it reminds me of that because it's little snippets every time. Like she always gets one scene with something with the major in every episode, and when is the shoe gonna drop? Because
it's dangling right now.
Yeah, it's only so
I've never
often.
seen-
It's only so often that they don't mention his name, and when they don't mention his name, he for sure has the scene. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna be sitting here with a box of Kleenex and a tub of ice cream, eating away my sadness.
I feel like this is like your line April type of territory.
I haven't seen your line in April, but it's on the list.
You're not gonna make it.
Crow.
Let me know when you start watching that on me.
Yeah, Chris
Let me know.
sent me the Crow sent me the recommendation. He's like, I don't know if this is something you would watch, but it's really good. I was like,
It is good.
oh,
I don't know if you're gonna make it. That's all I'm gonna say without spoiling that out of me for you.
I know it's just one of those things, but I'm always like, I always bust his balls when he mentions your lie in April. And I'm like, what about your truth in May? I'm like, he's just like, shut up.
Sure. Once you
It's
watch
a-
an anime, you'll understand.
I know, and it's gonna be one of those times where I've watched enough silliness and I can get to it. Like what I watched. Have either of you seen Madoka Magica?
I have like ages ago.
Okay. Have you? So?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, man, it was I was not expecting to
The
'cause it's like-
twist.
Yeah,
All
no,
of-
see the first time.
all of that, and I was like, my buddy at work, small tangent, people. I'm sorry, because it was an episode this is the most emotionally damaged an episode has ever left me. That whole thing, my buddy at work, who is a all down home, absolute total hick, but he likes anime, comes up to me, he's like, on your list, you have to put Madoka Magica. And I'm like,
You just have to.
I'm like, the magical girl anime? And he's just
Yeah.
like, trust me. Like the first
Yeah.
3 episodes, you are gonna wonder who I am as a human, but you will like it as
You'll
it goes through it. I'm
understand
like,
why.
and I'm like, okay. So I borderline watched it like in one shot. And we get all the way through it, and I just messaged him that gif of Anthony he's the actor in Blackish. Anthony
Anderson.
Anderson crying
yeah.
on the couch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Is that
I
I think I know what episode you were referring to.
and it just destroyed me. And then all of a sudden he's like, you should also watch the movies. The first 2 are recaps, but the third one's a plot continuation. And then I went from being extremely sad to wanting to murder one of the main characters. And it was like, if I request stuff to people, and it's one of my favorite animes of all time, it makes it on this list. And I found this bad boy on Right Stuff Animated as a collector's edition of Madoka.
Nice.
It is the only Region 1 Blu-ray that you can get of Madoka. This is
Really?
12 episodes. I paid $70 for this thing because it's Region 1. Right Stuff Anime, if you want to go get it. They also have the movies in Region 1. I was shocked because I looked for weeks and couldn't find a Region 1 copy. That bad boy's Region 1. I was very happy. But anyway, yeah, I need to have a good filler between sadness because I didn't watch anime for weeks after I was done with that because I'm like, if I see something that makes me cry that much again, I'm going to be pissed.
That's what I'm like. I think I might need to come up with a good anime recommendation after this.
It's
Just
fine.
so you're not sad, Ty.
I'm halfway through No Game No Life, and that is one of the most out of the box, just animes ever. So I'm like, I'm getting good interludes in between then, and like you all saw the thing. So anyway, yeah, still really liking this anime. I just have a feeling it's going to destroy me, and I want to go on a slight tangent because this is going to be maybe 13 minutes long. Because this episode didn't have a lot to it outside of like just. It's like they all are good, but all plot synopsis. Violet learns a new thing.
Basically,
It's
Yeah.
it's like it's hard, but I'm trying to drag these out because again,
Yeah, like I just feel like this is kind of like that slow pace anime that you're not used to.
yeah, I have a feeling that the last
it
episode's
is
gonna
an
be
acquired
bigger.
taste, and it's
Yeah.
something that I've had to acquire pretty quickly.
Yeah, and
Since we do on Renegade, we do seasonal recaps of all the things.
yeah, and it's like it's not even something that it's like I have to get used to. It's just that it's like I've never reviewed something like this.
Yeah, something slow pace.
It's slow pace, and it's like that's why it's like we've had Gurren. There's 8 billion things per episode I can watch because it's ridiculous. Neon Genesis, trauma, and then Akame, just out of the box, random fan service fights, just blah.
Yeah,
the
that's
whole
why I'm
time.
like, I need to recommend like that type of anime to you. I can't recommend girly shit like this to you
And
boys.
And it's fine to watch. It's just like I have to find out better ways to like review it. That's the only hard thing. I'm very okay with whatever because it is what it is. Things can be good, and because like again, I wouldn't have think I would have liked Madoka, and it's in like my top 5 of shows. Period. Now, like it's nuts how much I
Yeah,
like
like
that show. It's very good. It's very good. The only thing I got spoiled on what happens with mommy because of Watch Mojo.
Oh,
So I was like, when that was coming up, I'm like, why does the scene look so far?
yeah.
Yeah, that happened. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, still really enjoying it. This is gorgeous, beautiful, insanely well written, incredibly well voice acted. The music is off the
Yes.
charts.
Oh god, the music with the headphones. Oh my god.
oh yeah.
Oh,
Fox is
Before we
anime
get
with
out of here,
headphones on.
let me ask you this. Of all the characters we've met so far, aside from Iris, who's your favorite?
Laculia. Give or take. I don't know if she's coming back at all, but like, oh, what is her name again? Coletta? Coletta, the main doll agent. I like her quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the name of his the name of his delivery guy. I like him quite
Yeah.
a bit too.
Oh,
Yeah, I like
what's his face?
I can't remember. He's barely in it, but whenever he's in it, like
yeah.
him and Iris arguing about
Oh, Benedict.
Benedict. Him and
Yeah, I like
Iris
I
arguing.
like Bandit. Like I love Violet. Like I'm like a minute I'm like not even a minute into it. I'm like, I'm gonna protect her.
Okay. Yeah, it's like I don't want to say Violet because it's like duh, Violet is the best. Like she's so well realized. It's like you
Mhm.
get those characters that have those pinpoint personalities, and every now and then they'll have them break it just to make a joke. They have her stay consistent and make the jokes around it. This is every character is strict in how they act.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm very
Violet's one of those characters who so like some people would call her a flat character. I call her the drop in the bucket where her presence affects everyone else.
Yeah.
Yes. It is very much exactly that.
Yeah.
It's just a modifier on everyone.
This is currently character driven, not emotionally driven yet.
Yes, and again, I'm not looking forward to later episodes because
Once it becomes emotionally driven.
oh, that's not going to be good. Like the first time I actually get to see Violet cry, I think I'm going to die.
I think we all
Mhm.
Like I try not to like I get emotional at certain character deaths and stuff like that. And it's like I didn't even have time to get emotionally attached. I was like almost crying every other time. Like with certain stuff like with Akame, some of them I just kind of got blunt to stuff happening. And then like there was obvious ones where it was there, like Tatsumi's and stuff like spoiler! Sorry. But and then like I said, Kitons, Kamina's, I was just emotionally damaged, period. I never cried during Neon I take that back. There was one time I ever cried, and it was just like tears of happiness because I felt good for the creator of the show.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
When the Neon Genesis background thing pops up when he's talking with Ray and like the weird ass dream sequence thing, I was like, you finally got to finish this how you wanted to. That was really cool because you don't know Masao, the creator of that show, went through a whirlwind of stuff with emotional stuff and basically put out his depression through the show. And you could see it in peaks and valleys, and then later on got to redo it with the movies. And that is another one of the most beautifully animated things I've ever seen ever. A good mix of 2D and 3D. And might be the best mix ever. But yeah. Enough of the tangent. We're getting on out of here. They finally got around to the 20-minute quota that I wanted. All right. Mike, let's get out of here.
All right. You guys can find me on Twitter at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterbox.com/CoachK42. And you can find me in all the various Facebook groups at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on Podchaser and the Banana Meter. Listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. We also have a YouTube channel now. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need to escape? So do we.
Absolutely. And what's up?
And you can find me on Twitter at Cubalove028.
All right. And you can find me everywhere at Organoid0. And until next time, we will see you all later. Bye.
Peace.